Hey guys, and welcome back to World War II Solitaire board game channel and another week of Lone Sherman the Pacific. So we're back on Tarawa, however this time we are on Red Beach 2 instead of Red Beach 1. This is another mission with a simple goal. All we need to do is to get to this location and move out of that location. So let's start by setting up. First of all, we need one heavy artillery, and that's going to be on red number 1 facing that numbered hex. Then we have our anti-tank guns, and they will be on 4, 5, and 6 facing those numbers. So you can see that we have heavy opposition here as we are trying to move up on the beach. So I think actually that I will face this direction because my plan is to hopefully move into this hex and then upwards and onto that area. I feel like moving up the seawall is just too difficult to do because you have to roll a 5 here and you only get 2 dice, so it is actually really hard to do so. You can be stuck for several turns. We'll start with 0 casualties and we are unloaded. Okay, let's go ahead and roll, and we are gonna go ahead and pop our hatch. So we get 2 dice. We start by rolling on the movement table. And we need a 5 or 6 to move. However, with that double 2, we can actually move. Very good. And then we're gonna go ahead and roll 1 more die because we only roll 2. We actually get to roll... Nope, we only get to roll 2. It's a -1 on C, +1 for the driver, that's 0 die, and then 1 for the assistant driver, that's 1 die, and then another 1 if commander has his hatch popped. It was a week ago I played, so I forgot about that. Then we go to attack, and here we do get 3 dice, so let's hope we get a load and a fire main gun, because we want to fire at that AT gun. And we get a 4, which is fire machine gun, and a double 1, which could fire main gun, but then we're not loaded. So we'll use the 1 to load, and the other 1 is wasted. And then we roll for the C hex, we get 2 dice. And we get a 4, which is fire machine gun, and then we get a 2, which is not in C, repair. And none of those help us. So then we go to the Japanese, and we start with the AT guns. Let's start with the one on the left. And it rolls a 1, which is turned towards Sherman. And then a 3, which is turned towards Sherman, so he turns again. Next AT gun. And he will fire at me 1 time with that 4. So my size is 4. I am 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away, so he needs 8 or higher. He rolls 11. Yikes. My frontal side armor is 10. His AP is 2, so he needs 8 or higher. And he rolls 4, so that's a bust. Next AT gun. 1, which is turn. And then 6 is fire, but he cannot fire. And we don't roll for the heavy artillery since he's not in line of fire. He can only fire on these 3 hexes. And then we have our Japanese firepower. So that's 2 for the heavy artillery and 3 for the AT gun. Guns in plural, and I roll 1, 6, so that's gonna be 1 US casualty. Okay, let's go for end of turn events, and there's a lot of reinforcements on this map. 7, 8, 9, 10 are reinforcements. We're back to needing a 11 or higher to get any kind of good thing to happen. Roll a 9, which is type 95. And unfortunately we roll a 3, which means he will spawn. If we were to have rolled anything than a 3 or a 2, he would not have spawned. So very unfortunate, not looking like a good start. Okay, we roll on movement first, and again we get to roll 2 dice. 5 and 5, which is move and move, and I'm gonna use the double to instead turn. And then we'll use our attack. And we got a double 3, which we will use to fire, and we'll save the 2 to load. So the AT gun has a size of 5. He is 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away, so that's a 9 or higher to hit. +1 because he's in a building, so 10 or higher to hit. Roll a 5, so it's a miss. We use the 2 to reload. And then we roll 2 dice on the C table. We get a 1 and a 2. Both are useless to us, unfortunately. We roll for the tank, 4 dice. So he rolls a 1, which is going to be fire or turn. He cannot fire, so he will turn. And then he rolls a 2, which is move or turn. He cannot move, so he will turn. With the 5, he will move. And with the 6, he will move, but he can't. So he will instead get hold down. So he's waiting for me on the beach. Roll for the first AT gun. A 1 and a 3, both are turns. So he's just going to turn and end up in the same position. Next AT gun, which is facing me. 2 is moving to a building. He's already in a building. 4 is fire. Let's see, he needed a 9 or 8, I think, to hit me. My size is 4. I'm 4 hexes away. Yep, he needs an 8 or higher to hit. He rolls a 6. Next AT gun will turn towards my Sherman. 5 is fire. He's not in line of fire. Then we roll 4 dice on Japanese firepower. And they roll 1, 6, so that's 1 US casualty. End of turn events, expect more reinforcements, and we got a 7, which is infantry. And that's going to pop up on our blue hex, so he will go here. And then it is our turn again. We roll on movement first, 2 dice. And we get a 1 and a 4, and both of those are pretty much useless to us. We're not going to reverse, we can't, and the 4 is going to be turn. We don't want to turn. So this is the problem with the C hexes. You can get stuck a little bit too long, in my opinion. I would have liked if there was perhaps not a -1 on the C. A 0 would have been better. It's I tend, anyway, I'm unlucky, so I tend to get stuck. Let's move, roll on the attack table, and we get a load and a fire. So we use the fire on that AT gun again, and his size is 5. He's 4 hexes away in a building. We need 10 or higher to hit. We get an 8, so it's a miss. We use the 2 to load, and then we roll 2 dice on the C table. We roll a 6 and a 6, which is fire and reload. So we use the 6 to fire, 10 or higher to hit that AT gun. Roll an 8. We use the 6 to load. Very unfortunate. We roll 4 dice for the for the tank, and he rolls a 3, which is fire or move. He can do neither. 5 is move or reverse, so he will reverse. 5 is move or reverse, so he will move, and then 5 is move or reverse, so he will reverse. A AT gun, first one on the left side, has fire and fire, actually turn and fire. Next one rolls a turn, but he's not going to turn, and then he has fire. So he will fire 8 or higher to hit. He rolls 4. That's a miss. Next AT gun, and he rolls into a building, but he's already in a building, and then fire, he cannot fire. And then finally we roll for the infantry, and he rolls 2 moves. Let's see, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's not going to be able to get closer, so he's not going to move. And then we roll on the Japanese firepower, and we are going to roll 7 dice this time. I am very lucky, just 1 casualty. And then we have end of turn events. Expect more reinforcements. Yep, it's infantry. And this time it's gonna pop on this one. All right, let's roll for movement. And this time I am very lucky. I get 2 movement points. So I move, and then roll 3 on attack. And I'm not as lucky now. The 3 is machine guns, I can't use it. The 2, double 2 I can use to fire. So I'll fire. This time his size of 5, he's 2 hexes away, that's 7, 8, because he's in a building, so 8 or higher. Roll a 4, it's a miss. 2 on the C table, I roll 4 and 3. 3 is smoke or repair, but not in C. And 4 is machine gun, I can't use the machine gun. Okay, and then it is the turn of the Japanese, and roll for the tank. A 1 is fire, so he's gonna use the 1 to fire. Let's save the other dice here. So the 1 is fire. I have a size of 4, I am 1, 2, 3 hexes away. He needs 7 or higher to hit. He rolls a 5, that's a miss. 2 is move or turn. 3 is fire, so he'll fire again, and this time to hit me, he only needs a 6 or higher. He misses again. And then the 4 is turn, however, he's not going to turn if he's facing the Sherman. And then we have the AT guns. We start with the leftmost one first. 1 is turn, and 6 is fire, he cannot fire. Next AT gun, and he rolls move into a building. He's not, but he's going to fire. He needs 6 or higher to hit, and he rolls 7, so that's a hit. His AP is 2, my frontal armor is 11. He needs 9 or higher to penetrate my armor. He rolls 12. That's an armor penetration. What kind of damage do we get? We get a freaking fire. It's over, guys. It is over. And then we have the next AT gun. He rolls 3 and 4. She's going to turn once, and he can't fire since he is not in line of sight. First infantry squad. He rolls a 1 and a 5 and a 5, and the 2 5s are move. So he's going to move like that, and he's not going to move a second time because he doesn't get closer. And then the next guy gets only fires, but he can only fire if he's adjacent. We don't roll for the heavy artillery since he is not within line of sight. And this time we're going to roll 8 dice for the Japanese. For the Japanese firepower. Oh, that was a lucky shot. I knocked one down with 1 dice, so otherwise we would have had 2 d6. Only 1 d6. At least that's some luck. End of turn events. And we have a 5, which is a mine. Lucky for us, we are not on a clear hex. So if on a clear hex, immobilized and suffers automatic hit. So you can have damage with AP 0 and armor value 7. Lucky for us, we're still on the sea though. Let's roll for... I think I'll roll for movement first. So that's 3 dice. And we don't get to move. We only get turns, 3 turns. We get to... And that's 3 dice. We should only have rolled 2 actually. And then we roll 3 dice for attack. We get a 2, which we use to load. The 3 we could attack with, his size, that's a machine gun by the way. His size is 2. He is 1, 2, 3 hexes away. That's a 5. He's in a building, so that's a 6. We need a 6 or higher. We can't get higher, obviously. We miss. We use the 5 to fire at the AT gun. The AT gun has a size of 4. He's 2 hexes away, sorry, 5. He's 2 hexes away, so that's 7. He's in a building, so that's an 8. 8 or higher. Yes, I hit. And to penetrate his armor on the front is 8, or AP is 2. We need 6 or higher. Yes, we got him. Very good. We really needed that. Really needed that. We roll 2 dice on the C table. And we roll 6 and 5. So 5 is move, 6 is fire machine gun. However, I feel like moving here could be a terrible mistake because if I do that, I will be within line of sight for both of those AT guns. So I think actually this turn I will not move. I think that would be a mistake. We have a fire though, so it's not like we can be lollygagging either. Considering the fire, I think I'm gonna move, actually. So I'll use the 5 to move, and then I use the 6 to load my gun. Just because I feel because of the fire, we just have to move. We roll 1 d6 for the fire, and we get a 1. That's destroyed. Our Sherman is knocked out because of the fire. It blew up, basically. So that's the end of it. So a very simple mission turned very bad. I feel like I did every decision correctly, but sometimes the dice are just against you. Unfortunately, that's another landing lost. And I gotta say, out of all the missions, I believe the landing missions are the toughest, just because of how handicapped you are on those sea hexes. So unfortunately, Tarawa Beach 2, the landing, we have failed. Let's take a look at the next map we're gonna play. The next map is gonna be Tarawa Red Beach 2, clear the central airfield. So what we need to do is move off the map along the red arrow with no Japanese units remaining on the map. So this is not just standard, deathmatch. This is just, we have to kill everything and then we have to get off the map. So there is going to be a chance of, we might get hit by a minefield, we might have a mechanical failure, and then there can be infantry on a roll of 9 on that end of turn event. So it's not quite as simple as just killing everything. And the starting units is going to be a heavy artillery and then 3 tanks and 2 infantry units. So might not be as easy as we would like it. Anyway, guys, that is Lone Sherman, the Pacific. Make sure to check the comment section where Mike is always ready to clarify any fog of war on my part. Please take the time to comment yourself. I really appreciate your feedback. Also, take your time to like the video. If you're not subscribed already, I would recommend subscribing. You don't want to miss out on Clear the Central Airfield on Lone Sherman, the Pacific. Also, check the video description. You have a link to where you can buy the game off Amazon or Wargamevault, where you can buy the print and play file. Also, there is a link to Mike's channel where he has videos on all of his games, including this one. That's it for this time, guys. Again, thank you for watching. See you next time.